In this episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, I don't necessarily go back in time, but I have a guest from back in time on the show again. We sit down with Eric Shefferman to discuss his latest edition of Warmonger. If you want a refresher, go back and listen to episode 68, Warmonger, the ultimate card game of war for 1 to 4 players, where we talked about war with this blackjack component the first time with AIs, as well as we did a Family Fun Day Friday, episode 9, Warmonger, back in December of last year. It's been crazy, and it's amazing to get Eric back on the show to talk all about this Halloween limited edition of Warmonger, so that's exciting. Depending on when we get our copy, we might be previewing it for you as well, so it would be amazing to see how far it's come and the difference between the two different episodes. Keep in mind, even though we've got a little bit more updated equipment, that due to technical difficulties and whatnot, the audio quality may still not be top notch. So keep that in mind as you're listening, but I did my best to do what I could with it, and I hope you'll enjoy this episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief. I hope you'll hang on until after Kickstarter Corner as we sit down with Eric to talk all about Warmonger, the Halloween edition. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is proudly being powered by Purple Aether Games' Rodent Rangers, Small Heroes Big Adventures. It's a family-friendly RPG based on classic cartoons of mousy adventures, or inspired by, such as Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, The Great Mouse Detective, just those awesome mouse movies from back in the day. If you want to go ahead and have family-friendly RPG games based on such, you should definitely check out Rodent Rangers, Small Heroes Big Adventures on Kickstarter for a short time. It goes through this Thursday, the 25th of October. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is also proudly being powered by Table Breakers, super heavy solid metal poly dice set. Table Breakers are extra large, extra heavy metal polyhedral RPG dice set for D&D, Dungeons & Dragons, Call of Cthulhu, and tabletop games. You name it, you can use these dice for it. Table Breakers is dangerously hefty, the classic metal poly dice set with a touch of luxury. Bigger, heavier, and my favorite, dangerous. Also, Christmas delivery on these, so definitely jump in and check this out, as Table Breakers is on Kickstarter through Tuesday, the 6th of November. Don't want to miss out on these dangerous dice. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is also proudly being powered by Crypto Cartel. Will the Crypto Cartel get you, or will you earn the most cryptocurrency on the black market? Find out as you play this tabletop card game where opponents compete to earn the most cryptocurrency on the black market. If nothing else, I would definitely come over and check out Andy's video on his Kickstarter page, as it is awesome. Also, you can go back and listen as I sat down to talk to Andy all about Crypto Cartel, I believe in a couple episodes ago on Wednesday, so definitely check that out. If you like what you see or hear, definitely back Crypto Cartel on the Kickstarter through the 12th of November. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is also proudly being powered by Fossil Find, a domino-based board game. That's right, it's a domino-based board game that uses custom double 12 dominoes as game pieces. These dominoes are hefty, and it's a fun roll-move game. You have through Sunday the 18th of November to check out Fossil Find, a domino-based board game on Kickstarter.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Welcome to Getting Geeky with Game Relief, our second of 3 great episodes on this Saturday morning to fill in for your old Saturday morning cartoons if that has anywhere in your heart. We wanted to make it a little bit funner for you, if funner is even a word. Well, go ahead, take a seat, take a load off. We can take your coat, stay a while, and I hope you'll enjoy this episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief. If you'd like, I have some birthday cake, Game Relief cake if you want to call it that, in the oven baking right now. And I can also give you some hot chocolate and warm apple cider in the meantime. Which would you prefer? Oh, okay, here you go. And like I said, stay tuned until after Kickstarter Corner so you can get some cake. Not only cake, but so you can listen as Eric and I dive into everything great about Warmonger's The Halloween Edition that's limited.
What is this place? What is it doing here in the Leaves computer? Oh, it's Kickstarter Corner with the Leaves.
Have you been listening to Getting Geeky with Game Relief for a while? If you have, maybe you heard my episode where we talked all about a game that has building in the title 3 times. If you didn't, go back and listen right now, or just listen to this. Builders, the building deck building game. That's right, 3 buildings in one title. That's awesome. Well, anyways, Builders is a deck builder where you're trying to build the tallest and most valuable skyscrapers. And you can go ahead and get in on the fun action that this one is, as long as you do it on the Kickstarter before this Wednesday, the 24th of October, so the time is drawing to a close. So definitely go ahead and check out Builders, the building deck building game on a Kickstarter near you. Do you like role-playing games, but you've kind of want something different or new or fresh? Well, you'll want to head on over to check out Dane's latest Cosmic Mirror Core Rulebook, including fantasy, sci-fi, and modern fantasy. The Cosmic Mirror Core Rulebook is the core rules needed to play in future Cosmic Mirror games, settings, sci-fi, fantasy, and modern fantasy. And we will have Dane on the show this upcoming week, so if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you do that so you can check out this great interview as I sat down with him to dive into everything great about Cosmic Mirror Core Rulebook. This project's on Kickstarter through the 30th of October, and as long as you put your name in the hat by backing at least $5, you'll be able to be entered to win one of 3 extra books. He said that sometimes the players as well as the game master needs a book, so this will take care of that for you. So definitely check out Cosmic Mirror Core Rulebook, Fantasy, Sci-Fi, Modern Fantasy, on Kickstarter through the 30th of October. You've heard of Privateer Press? Well, even if you haven't, you should definitely jump on over to check out Level 7 Omega Protocol board game, the 2nd edition, that's on Kickstarter. It's a tactical minis board game for 2 to 6 players where high-tech commandos hunt an alien menace through a secret government facility. We will be having the designer come on the show next week as well, so definitely be subscribed so you never miss an episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief. This will be a fun one, so make sure you're subscribed. And in the meantime, jump over and check out their Kickstarter video at the top of their page, as it is pretty awesome. I liked it, and I can't wait for the movie of Level 7 Omega Protocol board game 2nd edition if they do make one. Otherwise, I can't wait for the game, or the 2nd edition of the game, that's on Kickstarter through the 31st of October. Did you catch this one the last time? Petrichor? Well, it's back. Petrichor Honeybee expansion and reprint is on Kickstarter. It's a sweet buzzing expansion to Petrichor and a reprint of the base game. You have less than 2 weeks to back this great game. The art is amazing, I'd have to say. Beautiful. So I would definitely go ahead and check it out. It's only $19 plus shipping for the expansion. And you get the Beehive, which I believe comes with, the base game, and the Honeybee as well as the Flowers expansion for $70 plus shipping. So, definitely jump on over there, check out Petrichor Honeybee expansion and the reprint. Going on Kickstarter through Friday the 2nd of November. This game and expansion funded in only 8 measly hours. But you have less than 2 weeks to get in on the fun. So check it out from Mighty Boards. Do you need to get your horde of Halloween games going? Well, if you do, we can help you, or Rabble Game Studios to be more exact, can help you do this for next year. That's right, with Dead Sprint, the game. It's a board game for 2 to 5 players that need to outrun a horde of the undead. Try to stay ahead on your turn before the horde takes theirs. They're a third of the way through funding, and you have 25 days to go to jump in on this one as it goes through the 15th of November. So definitely check out Dead Sprint, the game. Ever been in a hustle to get your wiring in your home going before you have a party? As you've bought a new home, or you had to refurbish everything and get the wiring going because you noticed a lot of the appliances wouldn't work? Well, if you haven't had that experience, or you'd like to, but you don't want to do it in real life as it might be trying, quite trying in fact, you can now do it on your tabletop with Circuit Breaker board game. That's right, from Freshwater Games. It's a puzzle game of quirky competition and crafty rodents where you do exactly what I just said. It's a casual strategy game that can be played up to 4 players. All players attempt to successfully rewire their own houses in time for a hastily scheduled house party. And they score points by connecting a variety of quirky electrical doodads to their home circuits. Their set collection, tile placement, and crafty rodents will be put to use in a fun and cheeky race to be the most happening place on the block. So definitely check that out. There is going to be a live stream on their Kickstarter page, if you're listening to this before then, on Sunday the 21st of October at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can jump over to the Kickstarter page right now and click on subscribe right below their Kickstarter video, and you'll be entered or subscribed so you won't miss a beat. Plus, you can submit a question. So there you go. Make sure you check out Circuit Breaker board game, as this project is only on Kickstarter through the 15th of November. Have you heard of Motora? I hadn't either. But Motora is coming to us from Callum. It's a race against time for 2 to 6 players, where you gather sacred idols scattered across the island and save your tribe before it's too late. The replayability on this game is great. Motora is a worker placement resource management game for 2 to 6 players that features dice combat and capture the flag objectives. It sounds really cool, and if you want to hear more about it, make sure you subscribe to Getting Geeky with Game Relief, as we're sitting down with Callum next week to talk all about Motora. That's on Kickstarter through Saturday the 17th of November. So go ahead and come on over and kick your shoes off and enjoy that with us. Do you need to get your Halloween horde of games ready before the 31st of October, which is only in 11 days? Well, you can, and you can get it there before then, especially if you're part of Amazon Prime. Go back and listen to our Family Fun Day Friday, episode 36, as we talked all about Zombs, a half-brain zombie card game that is out in retail on Amazon.com. You can search it there, you can click the link in our show notes, or you can go to zombsgame.com. Either way, I would go in and listen, or watch their how to play video. It's a pretty fun video. It's got some humor. And there's always Frank the Pig. Hopefully an interview from Frank the Pig is coming soon. So definitely jump on over to zombsgame.com and get your horde of Halloween games going now. Well, it seems the birthday cake is done. I hope you enjoyed that Kickstarter Corner and you'll be able to get some new games out of it. Make sure you go ahead and click the links in our show notes, or go ahead and tell the Kickstarter creators that you heard about it on Getting Geeky with Game Relief. That'll help us keep on bringing great games to you. Do you know about a great game that's coming to Kickstarter? Do you want your game featured on there? Or would you like to run a giveaway with the Giveaway Geek? Well, Game Relief, myself, is your guy. Send me a message on Messenger through Getting Geeky with Game Relief or Blake Leafty on the Facebooks, or email me at gamerelief@gamereliefgo.com, and we can see what we can do to work out with you so you can get your game featured on Kickstarter Corner, have an interview, do a giveaway, any kind of fun stuff. But anyways, here's some birthday cake. Oh, you want me to blow out the candles? Well, I'll go ahead and do that. What did I wish for? I thought I'm not supposed to divulge that. Well, I guess my birthday wish would be that you would jump over to Apple Podcasts, even if you're not getting podcasts there, that you would jump over there, log into iTunes, leave a rating and review, and subscribe. You can still listen to it on your podcast catchers, but this way, other great people like yourself can go ahead and find out everything that's great about Getting Geeky with Game Relief. So that would be my one birthday wish. So anyways, let's go ahead and enjoy this interview with Eric that's already in progress, talking all about the Halloween edition of Warmonger. We'll catch you on the flip side of this interview. Gamer Leaf out. Well, not out, but you know what I mean. We'll catch you on the flip side of the interview.
Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Are you a warmonger? Play Warmonger, the ultimate card game of war. When your cards match, this means war. Battles are fought using a blackjack-like combat system. The highest score, 21, or under wins. Press your luck by turning over more cards to get the highest score. But don't go over 21 or you'll go bust. There can only be one true warmonger. Who will be the greatest warmonger of them all? Only on Kickstarter. Come on, back it now, go!
Did that sound familiar to you guys? It didn't to me neither, but, well, I guess it did because I've previously had our guest on today, but that was the story of Warmonger, the Halloween edition, the ultimate card game for 1 to 4 players, and we're lucky enough to have on Eric, the creator mastermind behind that. Is that correct, Eric? Is that how you fall in line with Warmonger?
It's the card game of war, but with more stuff. Well,
yeah, for sure. And you're the creator of it?
yes.
Thank you so much for joining us on Getting Geeky with Game Relief. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem at all. Glad we can make it work. Now, if anybody has yet to hear about Warmonger, they can always go back and rewind and go to episode 68, Warmonger, the ultimate card game of war for 1 to 4 players, when we initially had you on. But so we won't get into everything that we got into that last time, but currently, what would you say your favorite game is, Eric?
Well, I was just recently introduced to Dominion, and it really opened my eyes to some other possibilities of what can be done with cards. And I'm very big into just cards and all nifty new ways that they can be used.
Awesome. Yeah, one of my favorite mechanics is actually deck building. I've yet to play Dominion, but what did you think about the whole deck building aspect of cards?
It took a bit to understand what was going on, and then once I did, I saw how you can do things this turn and know that they're going to affect future turns down the road and enable you to do more things. I really like that. Like, I can see how you could, over time, build up this really powerful deck by making, appropriate choices. And I thought that was just really cool. I really just outside of the realm of what I thought of before.
Yeah, for sure. There's plenty of deck builders out there. Some of my favorites are like Star Realms and Cthulhu Realms, and I recently sat down to play Hardback, which builds on words or whatnot. Do you think we'll ever get a Warmonger deck builder?
That's not within the spirit of Warmonger, just because Warmonger is too simplified. But I do want to think more about it. One thing Warmonger does have is the Warmonger cards. Each card is special and has its own unique rule on it, and so you can pretty much learn how to use the card by just reading what's in your hand. And that was the same thing I saw in Dominion once I understood how it was working, and I really like that, because it takes away a lot of the, I have to memorize all these rules first, and instead it's just I have to know how to use the cards, and then the cards will tell me what to do.
For sure, that makes it always easier, so you don't have to keep referring back to the rule book. What would be one thing you would do to enhance Dominion if you could change it in any way?
Try to figure out a way to make it easier to start learning how to play. And I'm not sure if it was just I was at a game development group, and so they split us up into two groups. One group was actually playing Warmonger, and then I was in another group playing Dominion. And so this was all people who had never played the game before or seen it, and so we're starting fresh with the rule book. And the whole there's an action phase and a build phase, and it was just very confusing to figure out how to do it. And so we were still just setting up the game, and meanwhile, I can hear the people playing Warmonger, and they're all, I got you. No, I'm going to play the Warmonger card and take that, and they're all doing stuff, and we're still just trying to figure out how do we lay out all these cards and who does. So and yet once we were going and once we got it, it seemed like, now it would be smooth and easy. But we definitely were not able to start up playing quickly as people who didn't know the rules.
Yeah, that's what I love about a good deck builder. Once you play one, you kind of have an idea of other deck builders, so that's awesome. Now, like you said, word on the street is you have a new edition, I guess, of Warmonger that's currently out. Perhaps somebody hasn't heard of Warmonger before. What can you tell us about this great game, Eric?
Well, the Warmonger addresses what I didn't like about the card game War. And what I like about War is it's very simple, very straightforward. You can get right into playing it. What I didn't like was there isn't much of a game in the traditional card game of War, because you don't get to make any decisions, really. You're turning up cards, and if your card's high, it wins. So I added a couple things that I felt were things people are familiar with. Like the combat now in Warmonger is like you were playing blackjack against the other players. So it's something people are already familiar with, but they may not have, played blackjack against other people like that. So that as the combat mechanic, it's easy to pick up, but you hadn't used it in War before. And then the other thing is the Warmonger cards that, like I said, you can play them and they have special effects and do stuff, but everything about playing them is written on the card. So there's nothing to learn. You look at the Warmonger cards you have, and then you can figure out, I could use this now to do this effect. So by adding those two things, it stopped making War just you turn up the cards and you see what happened like an exercise, and it turned it into, how many people on the table can I beat with this? Maybe I should try turning up another card. See, can I beat them then, or do I go over 21 and go bust? So that was basically it. It was meant to be a very simple thing for people to pick up, and for what I've seen, that is how it has worked, and so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it's been a while since we played it, but I remember we quite liked it. During the play testing of it, Eric, was there anything you had to scrap that it just wouldn't work for the game?
Originally, I had a system to decide, because you're playing blackjack against all the other players, and you could have 5 other players or 4 other players. So whoever goes first is at a disadvantage. And whoever goes last knows, if the highest thing someone has so far is a 15, all they have to do is get a 16 or better to win the war. So I had this whole sophisticated system of who has the action points to go first or second or third or fourth. And it reminded me of when I was a kid. I had this game Starfleet Battles, when Starfleet Battles came out, and the combat was this whole complicated thing. And I had that, and then one day I was like, instead we could make it whoever won the last war gets to resolve their cards last, and the person to their left goes first, and then it just goes around the table, which is something typical for card games. Like, that's how poker is played and stuff. And that was so much simpler to do, but it just took out so much junk from the game and made it so much easier to then do the wars and resolve them quickly.
Awesome. So that's good. So then they're resolved a lot quicker and whatnot. Now, the version of the Warmonger that we've initially played, it had a Surgeon General warning on the package. I really love the packaging. What all has changed with this new game? Is it Halloween packaging, or what is it?
It's Halloween packaging. It's all purple and orange. The Warmonger Skull guy is still in it, but he's used a little bit differently artwork-wise. And one of the things, because I've been playing, a lot of this is just experimenting with the card design and the graphic design and stuff. So in this one, the inside of the box, these boxes are made by Drive-Thru Cards, and they can fold open and then be folded back together. So inside the box, if you look in, you can see there's a ghost going, "Where is my grave?" And if you unfold the box and flatten it out, like by popping it open, you can actually see his grave hidden inside the box. So it's just little nifty graphic stuff, but the actual gameplay is exactly the same.
Oh, okay. And is it straight across the cards that the graphics and art has changed as well?
Yes, the card backs have a zombie hand and a cat theme. The Warmonger cards, it's subtle, but I did stitching on their faces so that their eyes and mouths are stitched shut. And all the coloring across the whole thing is just purple and orange and cyan and yellow. So it's a very garish Halloween colors, like you'd see if you were, going through a store now and you see all those colors laid out. That's the colors of the game.
Oh, wow. That sounds pretty exciting. So, per se, somebody likes what they've heard. They haven't gone over to the Kickstarter page, but they like what they've heard. What's it going to cost them to get a copy of Warmongers, the Halloween edition, Eric?
If they're in the U.S., it's $20 and 5 shipping.
And will they be able to get them before Halloween, or what kind of delivery date are we looking at?
The Kickstarter ends near the end of October. They'll be delivered by early to mid-December.
Oh, okay, so that's soon on the turnaround, so that's awesome. So you can play Warmongers, the Halloween edition this year, so that's cool.
Yeah, and you can then plan ahead so that you've got it for your next Halloween.
For next year, to complete their horde of Halloween games for next year. That's awesome. Now, when it comes to Warmongers, what are you most proud of, Eric? Both the regular and as well as the Halloween edition.
Well, like I said, I was at this game development group, and I didn't get to watch because I was busy learning and playing Dominion, but I heard the people playing Warmonger. It was 5 people who had never seen or heard of the game before, and very rapidly they were able to go through the rules, pick it up, understand what they were doing, play a game, have some fun, do some take this, take that, back and forth with each other, and someone won. All in the time that, I think it was 45 minutes to an hour is all it took them. And that's exactly what I wanted the game to be, something that you could pick up, enjoy, and it wasn't going to take a lot of mental effort or learning rules or planning or anything, something that you could just casually do with your friends as a fun thing as part of your evening.
Now, with all the projects that are currently on Kickstarter, what makes your game pop or stand out as one my audience should go check out right now and then back if they like what they see, Eric?
Well, it's only available through Kickstarter. It's a fun little card game that sits in a little, it's a tuck box that holds 120 cards. So it's something small, portable. They can take it with them. And have a quick game of it. Like I said, even with people who didn't know how to play, you're asking them to go, oh, I get it, I'm playing blackjack against you. Oh, I get it, I look at this card, I see what it does, and then I figure out when I want to play it and use it. So it's a for people who want something that's quick and easy to pick up like that, and they can just like tuck it in their backpack and have it with them.
Well, yeah, for sure. And anybody who hasn't played it, Warmonger, the initial Warmonger, I would definitely recommend they go ahead and check out the page. We'll leave all the links in the show notes. We really liked Warmonger, and hopefully we'll be able to get a review of Warmonger, the Halloween edition, up before the Kickstarter's through. But we really liked it, and I know they will too if they go ahead and check it out, so that's for sure. Now, minus coming there to stalk you in your hometown, Eric, how would people go about keeping up with you or other games you have going on in the future?
You can find it all on the IGPay Games website, which is igpay.com. It's like IGPay Attenley.
There you go, awesome. And is there any upcoming insider scoop you can give us on upcoming games for afterwards? Like, per se, somebody's listening to this down the road and the Warmonger Halloween edition is no longer up. What will you have going on in the future?
I have a solitaire card game called Rambo Pawn that's coming up in 2019. And it's basically about one rebellious chess pawn that's taking on both the black and white chess pieces.
Oh, okay, that sounds interesting. So that's awesome. Now, we don't want to keep you all day, Eric, but we really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Game Relief with us to talk all about Warmonger, the Halloween edition. I'm excited for that and see how that does.
Great. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview as we sat down with Eric to talk all about the Halloween edition of Warmonger. If you liked it, go ahead and jump on over and check out the Kickstarter page. Show a little support, even if it's $1 or $2. Go ahead and back it and see what you can do to get Warmongers into your home. Like I said, you can go back and listen to our episode. I believe it was episode 9 of Family Fun Day Friday, in which we talked all about it. And hopefully, we'll be reviewing the Halloween edition as well. Anyways, stay tuned until our next episode, which is coming right up after this one, where we talk to the creators of Weapons War. That's on Kickstarter for a little longer as well. Plus, make sure you're subscribed on your podcast catcher so you can catch all of the episodes that we're bringing to you next week, as it's going to be packed full as well. Anyways, our least favorite time, your least favorite time for us to get on with our lives, you to get on with yours. I hope you enjoyed that birthday cake. Anyways, go ahead and get geeky, stay geeky, and bring others into the geek fold. Gamer Leaf out.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.